Welcome to That's Thing, everybody. This is week 19. I'm your host, Lawler. With me is Johnny Boy and Quinn Lobdell. For those that are new here, That's Thing is a weekly podcast where we discuss imperative topics in the Rocket League community. Each week, we're joined by a special guest, and we dive into the latest news, juiciest gossip, all while keeping a serious yet light-hearted atmosphere. To end, we end with a community content that you guys have made, and then wrap that up with a live Q&A. So if you guys do have any questions, please keep it to the end of the show. This week is going to be a mixture of things, kind of focusing a little bit because we do have playoffs starting here in a couple days. Yeah, 2 days. Yeah, 2 days.
Yep.
So we're talking about that, some of the people that are going to be there, that aren't going to be there, some of the changes that are going on, as well as some predictions. And then we have GarrettG, one of the players from Orbit, who gets a bye week because he's a legend. They played really well, took first seed. So we're going to talk to him about what he's doing in his downtime and get to know him a little bit better. To start things off, as you guys can see, number one topic, Revival loses Chrome. There was an official statement on October 29th that Chrome, or Rob G, tweeted out, "For anyone who cares, I'm being replaced this Saturday for Prem. Good luck to them." Shortly after that, he mentioned he'll be looking for a team for Season 3, and it was a difference in opinion, not because of gameplay. Johnny Boy, what's your stance on that?
Well, it's a shame that it has to happen now. Like roster changes this late into the season really hurt a team's chances moving forward. I don't think that they were a favorite to make top four anyway, and without Chrome, it's definitely not looking like it's gonna be a good run for Revival. But yeah, it's a little bit, it's something's happened behind the scenes. Obviously, we don't know all the details. We don't have to know all the details, but something went down, and the players aren't happy playing together. So they decided to, or Chrome decided to quit, or he got kicked, or a combination of the two. That's really all there is to it. But yeah, it feels bad, man. It's a bit of a shame because they looked like a team who could make an upset. They had good performances, but definitely were the underdog. Now they're like the underdog times two. They're gonna be probably just losing 0-3 twice in both the series they play. But who knows? They might upset somebody. They might
Yeah.
upset somebody.
Chrome going away at this point is like really, really detrimental to that team's chances. They just don't really. He's such a strong player, and just forget Chrome. It's not just Chrome. It's the fact that having any kind of roster change at this point takes so long to develop chemistry with your teammates, to get the understanding between them. Losing a teammate, that's the worst case scenario, if you ask me.
I mean, it wasn't the first time that this has happened with that roster too. I mean, for those that are unaware, Hot Wheel Sid and Geno Cop are both two of the original three that were on the first Orbit squad with Zane Jackie, and the same situation happened like right before they were getting their big break. Like everybody had expectations of them coming in and pretty much almost a guarantee for top four for the season one first qual, and there was issues that happened, and then that team fell apart again. So I don't know if it's something that has to do with those players or just the age things, and I'm kind of glad we get Garrett later on in the show where we get to talk about a perspective of, being 15 on a team and having this much pressure coming on is going to make a huge difference. So now that Prem is on the starting roster, like, what do you guys think is the chances of, Revival actually qualifying for top four?
There aren't any. They're not going to qualify. It's a shame, but I don't think they have a chance. They have to go up against Genesis first, and they're going to lose. Then they probably face Take 3, but maybe Vendetta, who are formerly Vindicator. Before that, they were Vendetta, so who knows what team they're going to be up against in the losers bracket, but I don't see them beating anybody. I think that they're quite fortunate to make it in. G2 slipping to 7th place, and of course Revival did have that 3-0 head-to-head against G2, so that's the only reason that they're in here, is because they beat G2 and Deception. I don't see that. They lost to all of the other teams in this playoff bracket during the season, and I think that regardless who they face, they're probably gonna lose. That's just my prediction.
Yeah, I think any kind of roster change at this point, even the best teams would be struggling. So I don't really see them having any success after this.
No, I mean, Revival has been that team that has always gotten like super close, but just fell short. I mean, they had a lot of series that go, the full distance. They had a lot of matches where they were, like the big controversial one against Energy, where there was that server reset and everything. But they've shown like glimpses of where they can be really strong. So now that Prem's on the squad, I think we all kind of agree that that immediate roster change and stuff like that. It's something very difficult to overcome. But do you guys think they even had a chance with Chrome?
Yeah,
I think
always
with
a chance.
Rome it was a chance, yeah, but still not a big one. They would have been the underdog, like I said. Actually, I want to correct something that I said. They did actually beat one of the other teams during league play. I got mixed up there. They did beat Take 3 during the league play.
Yeah,
They
they beat them
lost
like
to Deception.
both their wins were like 3-0 or 3-1. I think it was 3-0. Like
They
3-0
3-0 G2.
Yeah.
And then they
I
beat
think-
Take 3 as well. That was on the week where Take 3 lost both their games. They were kind of
Yeah.
looking a bit weird.
That was
So
week
Take
3.
3 depends what Take 3 show up. I don't see that. I think the main thing, I reckon Genesis and Vendetta are the two teams who are favorites to qualify, just because Take 3 a little bit inconsistent and Revival are the underdogs. So I think that even if they do beat Take 3, they're not going to beat Vendetta or Genesis. So it's going to be rough. They're going to need to make 2 upsets basically, and I don't see them making more than one. I still don't. I don't think they're going to make any, but even if they make one, that's not enough basically.
Yeah, I completely agree, honestly.
Yeah. Okay, now that Chrome's out of the picture, do you think like Prem brings anything unique or anything different? Do you think he's going to be, if they were to play at their absolute best, is Prem enough?
I don't think that Prem will bring that like X factor to really change up a team. He's not a superstar, so he's not like a wild card
No,
player.
yeah.
Like he's not, if you think of all the players who are not in the RLCS group stages, the best ones, like the people you'd
Dapper.
think, yeah, Dapper, Jnaps, Miho, Squishy, you throw one of them into a lineup, sure, they might just take over the game. But Prem's not that kind of player for me, at least definitely not yet. So I don't see him taking over the game. And yeah, he might do okay, but he's not going to be like the catalyst that they need, I don't think.
Well, and not to mention the fact that he has little to no experience at the very highest level. He's always been a sub, has never had like his own team that's been this successful where he was a starter from the start. And that, not to say that he can't be, but that really like experience helps so much, not only in your fucking state of mind, right? Where it's just like, oh, you know what? I've come back from stuff like this before. It's not a big deal. Like, you stay positive. Or even if it's like, okay, I've seen how teams play like this. I know how to adapt. I know what I need to be doing. It's just a completely different change to go from someone like Chrome, who's much more experienced. He's played in RLCS Season 1 qualifiers and had success, right? But, I mean, Prem is not at that level yet. And especially at this late of a game, like this late in the season, they won't have time to practice with him and even get him up to that point.
Right. I mean, you're talking only. Yeah, go ahead.
Doesn't lend very well to subs.
Right. And I mean, you're talking only a week to get ready, like you said. Like, that's just, it's not enough time. We talked about how sometimes 4 weeks isn't enough time. But I mean, you think about that. And okay, so Prem has the ability to come with a mentality where they're the underdogs. They have a very small chance of even getting in. So to Prem, does he just take this as kind of like a tryout? Like,
this is the best.
I mean, he has a chance to showcase his talents, right? Like, he has a chance to come in and basically say, hey, look what I can do for this team. Like, say he comes out and has like a stellar series. Yeah, they don't win it, but he just looks really, really good. Are other teams going to even consider him? Like, there's certain things that you can kind of play off that.
It's going to be weird because Gino and Hot Wheels Sid, I think Hot Wheels Sid can play the supportive role relatively well, but I don't see Gino playing that role very well. So unless we have like if you remember when Zane Jackie joined up with I think it was Mocket back then, the roster that is currently Take 3, when that first happened, Zane Jackie looked better than he'd ever looked before. Mocket looked better than they'd ever looked before. This is Rizzo, Zane Jackie, Insolence's lineup. So unless we just have that ridiculous synergy between Prem and Geno Cop, I don't think that they're gonna work very well together. I don't think that unless they just have the sickest passing plays ever, and Prem scores his goals and assists every game adds up to 3 or more, then yeah, it's not going to be a good showing for him. I mean, who knows though? Maybe they will have the insane synergy that Rizzo and Zane had.
I think this opportunity for Prem is like probably the best you could ask for. It's kind of like over zero and season 1 LAN, where it's like, okay, this is a time where you're gonna be with the big boys. Like, if you show up big, everyone's gonna really. It's an opportunity to completely change everyone's perception about you, right? So, not only can he go and show that, hey, I'm actually a good player, people should be looking out for me, but this is also a chance for him to prove it, I guess, to himself and make himself like more confident. It's just, I guess, just like any pro sport where like you got the star who's injured, and then you have like the rookie on the bench. It's like, all right, good luck. So,
Yeah,
I
mean,
think
he's good.
I think it's a really good opportunity for him at the very least next season. If he does well now, right, it's an opportunity for like other teams to really give him a lot more consideration. Whereas for the most part, like finding new players, people don't really look for players who haven't really proven themselves at the top. So this is just the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Also, we've been talking. I mean, from other top ranked teams, they mention how important practice is and how it shows in their performance. Orbit is one of those, and we'll get Garrett's opinion on that later about how they practice probably more than any other NA team, in my opinion, and it shows in their play. There is also teams like Take 3 and Revival that don't. There's teams, and I played with Rizzo last a couple days ago. He said that they play worse when they do scrims. They just go in blind, and he says they perform better. Whether that's true or not, I would have to actually check, but their results aren't showing. I mean, they started off the first week and they were killing everybody, and then that honeymoon phase kind of went away, and they've been looking pretty lackluster as of late. So I don't know if that is because of practice or not. So it's only speculation. But do you guys think that practice makes perfect? Is there circumstances when it doesn't?
Well, practice doesn't make perfect, but perfect practice does make perfect. If they find a way that they can train and actually enjoy themselves and feel like they're learning something, then that could work really well. Like, sometimes you just need to make it fun, right? If you don't enjoy practicing with your team just because there's no pressure on the line, or the games just don't feel as serious as tournament games, then just do some stupid strategy to make it fun. Just try something different. Have somebody only allowed to be in the other team's half. Just to do something. I don't know. Like, this might throw off the other team as well. They'll be like, what are they doing? Why is this guy like on our ceiling above the goal? Like, this kind of thing. Just find a way that will make the practice. You can practice something. Like, the purpose of practice games are not to win. The result of a scrim means nothing. The purpose of the scrim is to like improve your team's play in some way, right? So, be that passing, shooting, rotation and defense, whatever it may be. Just find something that you want to practice. That's what I would say to teams who don't enjoy practicing. But yeah, you can still be successful without practice. The old flip side didn't practice because Mike didn't enjoy it. And they were, they still are till this point the most successful Rocket League team of all time.
To be fair, just with regards to the flip side, they didn't practice, but as far as I know, between them, they did throw out scrims. Like, if they had a really bad week, they'll like go and scrim that team after they lost or something. And then it was really not like a proactive practice schedule. It's just like, oh shit.
They only scrimmed very few times.
Yeah, very few. It is very few.
Very, very few. And they tried, I think, scrimming like way back when they started. I'm talking like over a year ago now. Like, when they started playing together, they tried to scrim, and then Mike, I believe, was just like, this is pointless. Like, it's boring. It's not fun. I'd rather play ranked and just work on mechanics individually. But there's some obvious benefits to practicing as a team, and I don't need to state the obvious and explain those. But yeah, you just got to find a way to make it interesting and not make it boring. Because if it's boring, then sure, you're not gonna learn anything.
Yeah, unbelievable stuff. Yeah, Quinn, if you have anything to go ahead.
Like, one of the things that everybody does when they get better is they like try and go for like these moves they might have seen on streams, or like you might have seen someone do it against them, and like you practice in free training, then you practice it in the game, right? Like, when you first learn how to like do backwards aerials, you go for a ton of that shit, right? When you're learning how to aerial.
Yeah, and you miss them all.
So
but
yeah, and you miss them all. But I mean,
it
like
doesn't
that
matter.
practice
You're
alone
practicing,
makes
right?
you a better player and more
Yeah.
experience, and also at the very least, it makes you like calmer. You know, you've tried it before. You know what needs to happen,
Mm-hmm.
and you actually have like practice against live opponents and uh, things teams can do is just like take that into games where it's like, okay, look, if we just try and win just by being normal, doing normal shit, right, and like not really trying anything special, you're gonna become bland and like stale very quickly.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of teams go through those honeymoon phases, because they actually try and go for this crazy shit. They're working on it, like each other's gameplay and like trying to like link up better as a team, and then you start having success and then you completely stop it and you're like, well, why aren't we successful anymore? Well, probably because you stopped looking at like the good things. It's the same way where it's like if you get into a slump, if you have any replays of yourself playing very well, like go back and watch it and you'll see, oh, I used to be like doing this and that, and not just going for the same thing over and over again, which I think tends to happen to just about every team that doesn't practice.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, really,
Just play
really
a
good
series
point.
and fake literally every kickoff. It's great, great fun. Just fake every kickoff because the other team knows that you're going to do it, but yeah, what are they going to do to counter you? You know,
Well,
then you
it's not
start
even
to
that
learn
too.
what the
Like,
counters are to fake kickoffs. It's great.
yeah,
Just do something
because
really dumb.
like, plus you're gonna have the mentality like, are they seriously gonna fake every kickoff? So like, you don't know if they're gonna
Yeah.
fake the kickoff, even though they've committed to faking every kickoff. Like, are they seriously gonna do it again and again and again and again? You're always gonna have the mentality because it's not the norm. So it could be pretty cool. So. In other news, for those that are just joining us, this is week 19 of That's the Thing. Currently, we just talked about Revival, how they lost Chrome. They now picked up Prem as their full-time. But in other news as well, Vindicator is no longer Vindicator. They have reverted back to Vendetta. There was an official statement that was done by Vendetta, and it says, if I can find it, there was a team update tweet. It says, team update. As a result of recent events, we are no longer a part of VindicatorGG. We will return back to our former name, Vendetta. This has no effect on the RLCS or our roster. We want to thank all of the awesome people who have helped us and supported us, and we hope that you'll keep supporting us through our journey. Now, the cool thing about that tweet is it doesn't give us any drama. It doesn't give us any information about it. It doesn't give us literally anything to pull from other than there was a falling out with the org for some reason. I would like to point out that is exactly how you handle something on Twitter. Any disagree? Like, we talk about it all the time. Well, I mean, obviously, we would like more. We'd like more,
we can't
but
complain. But I personally would love to see some drama. I want to know who hates who like is gonna start a witch hunt on who. Yeah, that I'm just kidding. It's good to see some professionalism for a change. But on the other side of the coin, what on earth? Like, how are there so many teams who are just like, yay, we have an org. Oh, just kidding. No, we don't. They find out something about us, and now they don't want to sponsor us. They find out that the Rocket League game is actually virtual. We're not actually driving cars, so now they're not going to sponsor it. Like, what is going on? How can things go so wrong so quickly? I don't get it. It's like, yay, we have an org. Just kidding. We don't. What? I don't understand that, but there you go. No
I
big
don't
deal.
think we need that drama. I think they did well.
I mean, you never know until you find out what the reason is, right? You can't say if they should have kept it so secretive unless you actually know, which I don't. So
the only time I think that you shouldn't be like secretive is if there's like something bad happening and it's affecting you and it's like not necessarily your fault. Like if they're screwing you over, right? And you just
if you want to warn other teams, say don't join this org because they tried to do this, this, and this. That's why we left, because they're
totally
scummy.
fair enough. Like people
right?
think when
I'm
you
not
say
saying that they are, they could be.
don't cause drama, it's more don't cause like unnecessary drama where both parties will come out of it worse.
Yeah,
If it's
exactly.
like if you're being like slighted, right? And like something that getting screwed over somehow, like it's totally within your rights to defend yourself. And it's actually like good for the Rocket League community to find out who's causing these problems.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So
until we know what the actual reason is, I can't really comment on whether or not they should have stayed silent, but it is what it is. Another org has made a little bit, they stuck their finger in the Rocket League professional team's soup bowl, and then they, that's it. They're like, nah, don't want any of that. We'll just have a taste, and then we're out. I don't know. Maybe they like thought that they didn't qualify because they're not in top 2. They're like, rip, cut the card. We're not going to sponsor them
They just
anymore.
made a
Oh,
mistake
you
on the
actually...
brackets. They're like, oh, dang
Yeah.
it. Like, they didn't even know about
Oh no, they
playoffs.
came 5th. They're not top 4, right? That's it. We sack them right now. They, then they find out. Oh wait, you still have a chance to qualify. Oh, that's
Oh,
bad.
that'd be good. That'd be so good. Yeah, no, good stuff on that all around. Plus, I mean, if you're on the team and you're okay, so say Vindicator does want to pick you up, I would personally go to the guys that were previously picked up by them. I'd go to one of the guys on Vendetta and be like, if you don't mind me asking, like they're considering us, do you mind sharing the reason? And that's one way to go and handle that. So don't be afraid to use your resources, guys. Next up, though, we're going to be talking about LAN predictions, kind of what everybody's looking forward to. We have the playoffs for the RLCS this weekend starting. Top 2 seeds for NA, Orbit, and Energy get a bye. Top 2 seeds for EU also get a bye. Flip side now and Northern Gaming. So, teams that we have, we want to go over predictions. Quinn, do you want to start with NA?
Let Johnny start, please.
No, it's because you don't have
so
the document up.
Genesis...
Do you have the document up, Quinn? I'm gonna ask you that.
Yeah, I
we
have the
get-
document up.
Oh, okay.
I do.
My
I got the document. I always have the document, man.
I have the document. I got 2 monitors, man. I got document on one side, and then I have our beautiful faces on the other.
Yeah, same, man.
Nice save
But
with the
either
beautiful
way,
faces. I like it.
We have 2 matches this weekend to start things off. It's a double LAN bracket, so you essentially have to win 2 series to qualify for the second weekend. But if you do qualify for next weekend after this one, you're in the LAN. Next weekend will be for the online money, which there is a lot of, so it's pretty serious, and also seeding, so it's very important. But this, for these teams, is arguably more important than the following weekend, because after this, it's going to be like, yep, we're in the LAN. Tickets are secured to Amsterdam. First up is, I believe, Genesis versus Revival. And the other matchup is Take 3 against Vendetta. And I'm going to say Genesis are going to sweep Revival, and Vendetta are going to probably sweep Take 3, or maybe drop a game, because Take 3 have a bit more star quality than Revival. But I think Vendetta are going to come out swinging this weekend. I think they're going to look really good. Maybe even take the winners finals against Genesis as well. But yeah, they're my 2 teams, Genesis and Vendetta. They're going to make LAN, I think. Well, they're going to qualify from this weekend. Genesis over Revival, Vendetta over Take 3. I'm also going to say Vendetta over Genesis, because I think they're going to show up big, and then Take 3 are going to beat Revival and lose to Genesis. That's my four games that I think are going to happen.
Yeah, I think Genesis for survival as well is easy peasy for Genesis. Take 3 versus Vendetta. I think Vendetta's stronger team right now. Ever since Instances went to Grandma's house, you know what I'm saying? For EU, I think. Oof. I think Reunited can take it. I'm
Again,
not sure.
you think they can?
Honestly, I'm split. I really don't know. I think it could go completely either way. If I'm serious with you,
I think Mocket are just going to take it this time.
I think
I don't know.
Devo's nuts.
They look way too strong, man.
But
Like
It's
Devo,
I could
his-
see it
took
honestly
one
going
series.
either way.
Reunited took 1 series off them, but I really feel like that was because they had their backs up against the wall and they needed to do it. And Mocket didn't really have to win. They were already like a safe, they thought they were going to be top 2. So, yeah, I think Mocket are going to probably beat Reunited pretty handily. The other one's the interesting matchup, though, the
Precision Z.
PZ versus Red Eye. Because PZ actually 3-0'd Red Eye during the season, which is obviously
Is
very
that an interesting
one-sided.
matchup?
Oh well, yeah, PZ versus Red Eye, like they were super close in the standings actually. Like PZ had a better final game score, but Red Eye had a good win percentage. So had it gone to like a 4-way tie, Red Eye were going to be 4th place because their win percentage was so good. But yeah, PZ took on my dog in the final game, so we see them taking 4th overall. I think we're going to see PZ take down Red Eye again, but Red Eye are not a team to be messed with. They're good. They're a good team.
Yeah, why do you now I mean the big thing that a lot of people are talking, we just mentioned how Vindicator is now Vendetta. Why does everybody think Vendetta's got the win? I mean, I have my personal reasons, but Johnny, what are yours?
Oh, I just think that they're starting to look so good with Matt. Like when Matt played the first week that Matt played with them, he looked really, really good. and I feel like they are just going to keep improving on that roster, and they're going to show up really big. Because yeah, Matt, Torment, Darkfire, that's a pretty sick team. I mean, way back weeks ago when they were deciding who to use between Matt and Lethamyr, like even then I said I felt like Matt would be a great fit for that team. It took them a few weeks to actually do it, and now they're like, oh yeah, this is working really well.
I mean, Matt
I
at the
they're
time
doing
was like
good.
super rusty. You remember, like Matt used to be an insane player, and then I guess just like stopped playing as much, took a bit of a break, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
well,
for
I guess like
those-
the whole A Money thing happened.
Yeah, for
right?
those that don't know Matt used to play with A Money and Sizz on Selfless.
Yeah. All for one and one for all.
Yep.
I don't know.
Long time.
I just think Matt's gonna be show up big. Also, Genesis have been looking good with classics as of late, but I don't know. They're still like a little bit shaky when it comes down to like when it's really all on the line. That's when Genesis might struggle. Like we've already seen a couple of weird upsets from them, like dropping in the first week of actual open bracket qualification to some no-name team. That Genesis, they're a good team, but yeah, I don't know if they're gonna be able to bring it to Vendetta when they're asked to.
Sounds good.
I mean, I think Darkfire and Torment, like I've seen them just destroy games by themselves. Matt's really coming into the team like really well. Take 3 has been known to choke, right? It's like
Very
I
on
know.
and off team.
yeah. I mean, when they're on, they're insane, right?
Yeah.
I think like one of the bigger problems is like they seem to struggle really with balancing offense and defense. I think they give up a lot of pressure when they don't need to, and so that's just like part of my reason why I think like they struggle a lot as a team. And I think Torment and Darkfire is so good at interference play and scoring like such difficult shots, both Torment and Darkfire. So I think they're just gonna like play games with them.
I really hope that Take 3 can show up though, because they are in my fantasy team. I've got Take 3 and Vendetta, so I don't care who wins in the first one, but as long as they both qualify, that would be the dream for my fantasy team. If they can, because then I'd have all 4 of the top 4 NA in my fantasy team, which would look pretty good. I don't know if I could win the whole thing, but I think I'm like 4th right now. I looked on the website. I'm not doing too badly. I've managed to fluke my way into potentially a T-shirt, which is pretty cool. And we didn't actually mention though the EU teams like Mocket. I think surely, even if you think Reunited can beat Mocket, would you still take Mocket as qualifying?
Yeah.
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 100%.
Like they'll come back if they
qualifying,
lose, they'll come back
100%.
and lose this bracket. There's no way.
I
they
think
win.
I could see Reunited taking it, but I think Maka will win. Okay, that I should have clarified that. Maka
So
is
you
the
think?
better
But
team.
do you think Reunited will, even if they beat Mocket again, they'll probably go up against Precision Z?
Which they always
And
have troubles
then-
with.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the real match for Reunited is can they finally beat Precision Z? And even if they do, if they don't do that, they'll have to beat Mocket again probably. So it's going to be pretty rough for Reunited. They do not have an easy run ahead of them because PZ and Mocket, Mocket are so good. PZ always give them trouble. I mean, personally, I just think PZ and Mocket are going to take it because PZ have done well against Red Eye and Reunited in the past. So I think they're the best out of the 3 teams that are not Mocket, basically.
I'd agree.
Yeah. So NA, we're talking Genesis and Vendetta. Vendetta just looks really strong with the addition of Matt as their full-time player. Take 3 needs to pretty much revert back to week 1. Whatever they did in week 1 and 2, Rizzo went absolutely insane. They need to revert back to that. Zane Jackie's been stepping up as of late, but he hasn't gotten any help. Insolence, as Quinn said, after he went to Grandma's, has been looking kind of iffy. So
That's also a little bit of banter. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
taking like a 2-month break is huge, especially when a big part of it is like during those like practice times where everyone's getting ready for the next season or like season while it was at RLCS. I don't know. It was just he really needed to step up. But I think Instance's problem has always been transitioning from offense to defense and playing more aggressive. And 3s, you need to take more risks. It's just like the nature of the game, right? So I like when you see players go for risky things and it doesn't pay off, I don't really hold it against them too much. because you just have to do it. There's so many players. It's really hard to keep control of the ball and maintain control for a long amount of time, just because of how many people there are, how much less boost there is for each individual player. And Instances like struggles with that balance.
Yeah, I think Incel's going to be the weak player on the field in that series against Vendetta, which is sometimes a deciding factor, like you mentioned. It's going to be an interesting one.
Yeah, we always, even though we like obviously make these predictions as guys, we want as commentators, as fans of the game, anybody who can prove us wrong is always exciting to watch. So hopefully the storyline.
We're just speaking on past, like performances and what we've seen or noticed, and also our own personal opinions. Obviously, I think all three of us as fans of the game would want to see the best Take 3, the best Vendetta, the best Genesis, the best. Like all those teams, because that's just gonna create for a better series.
I mean, it's gonna wrap it up. I mean, when you guys talk about the first LAN, do you guys think the teams there pretty much played to their best? I mean, obviously there was some flukes here and there. I mean, a lot of teams, like we saw Kings of Urban getting knocked out extremely early, but overall, the teams that were at LAN, most of them played like it's the best Rocket League I've ever seen personally. Like it was. Performance-wise,
really?
Like out of like certain teams, there was some teams that fell short, but
I think
Flipside were atrocious. Marky had never shot the ball so badly. Go back and watch these series. I don't think I've ever seen Marky fluff so many shots where he just tries to hit the ball and air rolls forward and hits it with the ceiling of the roof of his car. I thought that some people played well, but most players played very badly compared to what I'm used to seeing.
Playing the line from the comfort of your home, and then the first ever LAN experience for literally every single player, not to mention the lack of practice time that us players had, right?
Very true. Very true.
Yeah. Are you guys
yes, we are like we're working.
Garrett worst Rocket League of his life. He's
he even spelled league wrong. That's how bad he played. Like you can't handle it.
Yeah.
Yo, I will say though, there were individual.
He's 15, man. He hasn't taken that spelling class yet. It's fine.
Oh man!
Like Kronovi played well, Lachino played well, Cuxer played well, Mike played very well.
Cux and Mike had both had moments where that's probably some of the best I've seen them play.
Yeah, day one Cux against KOU, day two Mike all day, Kronovi and Lachino, especially day one Lachino, day two Kronovi were really good.
Lachino was MVP.
Remco was garbage. Greasy was even worse. Garrett was.
Oh yeah, I dunked the fuck out of Greasy. I don't know if you guys remember that goal. I remember.
Greasy's, you dunked Greasy, like legitimately. He's told me a story about their game against Flipside where they were losing 2-1 in games in a best of 7, and then he called out in comms. He said something like, "I've got it." It was just like, he's last man back, and he said, "I've got it," blasting it, and then he just drove past the ball. He just missed it, and he's like, "What? I don't know what happened." Then the camera cuts to them because they lost the game in OT, and you just see them all sitting there like, they're like, "What's going on?" Because they've never played so badly. Like,
yeah, Maestro had an insane tournament. Can't say
Maestro did good. That's true. Yeah.
But does Maestro ever really do bad?
He used to, but not really anymore. He's really without a lot of his consistencies.
Yeah, he was the worst player for NG going into the LAN. At least most people in EU thought so. But yeah, he's been good since then.
Either way, really exciting stuff coming up this weekend. There's going to be some good games. God, Garrett, get out of here.
Plus, we saw the Flying Dutchman came 4th, and did you see how badly they played against IBP? Holy cow. That was like one of the worst hit series I've ever seen from the Flying Dutchman. And they're against. How did IBP win? Like the IBP won the LAN. Need to say more. They won. They actually won it. There's no way it was the best Rocket League we've ever seen. Hey, IBP actually won the thing.
But they played really well. You can't deny that iBuyPower didn't play well.
iBuyPower was the best of the tournament.
They were good. Yeah. They were good goalkeepers. They did good counterattacks, but they just sat in their net, and other teams like shut the ball.
I think honestly, as far as being outplayed, F3 outplayed them. I think F3 just fucked up on the shots.
F3 just kept on passing the ball to goalkeepers. Like you have to
think
of
some major
every time
mistakes
you
on
shoot the ball
defense
in Rocket League. If you shoot the ball at the goalkeeper, you're passing it to him. You're hoping that he flips out the way. Why not just, pass it to your teammate by hitting the crossbar? I did a whole bunch of replay analysis, and I couldn't count the amount of times where I'm thinking, yo, why doesn't Cux, Mike, Marky, why don't they just hit the bar here? Because their teammate's sitting in the middle, waiting for the crossbar pass. Instead, they just hit the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper's like, thank you very much. I'm going to save that because I mean, in fairness, Luchino was a beast in goal. And over zero had some
Luchino had
pre-jump
some
saves.
absolutely insane redirects that were like, we had been watching Rocket League for a lot at that point, and those were like some of his most incredible goals, especially considering the pressure that all the teams were under.
Did you see the double save that Luchino made against Flipside when they were like backs up against the wall?
We should fucking watch
before
this
they
right
went
now,
into
dude.
overtime.
Dude, we need to watch Luchino RLCS highlights.
Luchino double save right before the over zero.
Yeah, there was 12 seconds left on the clock
to make that overtime.
Yeah,
insane.
12 seconds left on the clock. Back-to-back saves brings him into overtime. Then two
the
more
second
shots.
Save was a pre-jump after the sickest recovery inside his own net.
Yeah,
well.
and then we go into overtime, and then there's two more saves, one from Kronovian, I think, and then one from Latch again.
Oh, you mean when Kruxer passed the ball to Kronovian? I remember, I remember that.
And then the second shot that came in, it was like...
but nah.
Yeah, so the second save, and then it gets played outside, and then you guys all know how it ended. So, but enough banter from us. I would like to know what GarrettG's predictions are from Orbit. Garrett, how would you like to chime in? I know you've been making some cheeky banter in that document, so...
Hello.
How you doing, buddy?
My predictions for LAN?
Yeah, NA. Who's gonna meet you guys at LAN from NA? 2 teams, and then who's gonna meet you guys from EU?
I feel like Vendetta is gonna make it. I don't know about Genesis to be honest, because we've played them and I played with a pickup team two weeks in a row, and like it was a pretty like convincing win. So I don't know. We'll see.
But who's gonna go instead of Genesis?
Take 3 if Genesis doesn't make it.
Okay.
In my opinion. Yeah.
All right. What about EU? What do you got?
Mock it and.
I mean, any answers acceptable.
If Reunited has a good day, I think they'll go.
So you want them to go?
I want Reunited to go.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
There's a lot of people that agree with that statement. So they've got
I mean,
quite
they
the fan
stayed
base.
together for so long.
Yeah.
So they deserve it, to be honest.
Do you think they'll still stick together if they don't make it?
I don't think so. No, in my opinion, I think it's at that point, it's time to move on.
Johnny, could you guys agree with that?
Take 3?
For Reunited or
Reunited. If Reunited doesn't make
take
LAN,
3.
right? So if Reunited doesn't make it again, do you think they finally say, okay, we've had enough? There's something about this that isn't working out? Or do they stay together?
I think we have to ask them, honestly.
They do have the benefit of having a coach who is Gregor, so they could just cut the coach, blame him, and stick together, and everybody will be like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense."
So they brought him on. He's the fall guy.
Yeah, there's so many times that happens in esports where the coach like is just always getting he's always getting cut if the team fails to qualify. It's like, well, I guess see you later to the coach because something went wrong, and nobody really knows what you do anyway. So yeah. Rip Gregan. I don't know. They might make it though. They really could because they showed up pretty big. They beat Flipside last time around in the RLCS Season 1 qualifier number 2. They actually beat Flipside 4-3 and
Really
probably the
series.
best series of Rocket League I've ever seen.
Yeah,
That
really good
was
series.
Back and forth action. So many goals. It was crazy.
Oh, that's when we were playing the Forest.
Was it?
Yeah, that was the night that.
The night after. Yes, the night after.
30 hours or something.
Yeah.
Mike stayed up 30 hours to play the Forest, then he went for a walk in the morning and then played against SA. Mike didn't play badly though. Like, that's just standard for Mike.
Yeah, that's always funny.
Oh my god, the Forest, man.
The Forest, dude.
Playing that game with those guys is ridiculous. So, for those that are unaware, we've got GarrettG from Orbit with us, previously known as Exodus, recently picked up a week or 2 ago. Garrett, we're going to kind of get to know you, who you are, what you do. For those that don't know you, where have you been? But I feel like almost everybody in here should know who you are, so pretty easy. But give us kind of a rundown, the history. Tell us where you started, where you're from, how old you are, all that kind of stuff, and then bring us in your introduction, like what got you into Rocket League, getting into competitive, and we'll go from there.
So I bought the game when it came out, watching Summit, and I like played it once or twice, and then never touched it again. And then I watched a video of Summit playing it again in October, and then I started playing. So yeah, I always talk to Summit about that, and he thinks it's hilarious. But okay, so I was just gonna play it casually because I really enjoyed the game, but I felt like it started to get not very exciting playing ranked, so I just tried ESL 1 week, and I couldn't stop playing in week basically. So yeah, it just escalated from there mainly. And that was with a group of friends I made in ranked.
Do you remember who?
Hyone and SMG Schwind.
Oh, Schwinn.
Geschwind, man.
Homie.
Really?
Yeah.
Schwinn is the homie, man. We know Schwinn.
That was my first team ever, yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
There you
But
go.
that was like that didn't last. That
Yo,
was just
give some
for
shout outs to Schwinn right now, Garrett. He gave you your start.
fun. Yeah.
Last name is Geschwind,
But-
and nobody pronounces it right, and he's just
Gush-
giving it up.
Geschwind.
Yeah, his
Yeah.
first name starts with it's like Sean or something like that, but it's it's literally his name. SM is like first name, middle name, and then Geschwind is his last name. But everybody calls
My
him Schwind
first,
because
like,
Geschwind's a weird last
Yep.
name.
Schwind is his actual last name.
Geschwind with a G.
Schwinn.
Geschwind.
Okay, that's questionable. Okay.
Yeah, right.
That's questionable. What?
As if he had a choice, right?
Somebody's last name, dude.
Most questionable last name in
Geschwind.
You can't just say, "Oh, that's questionable, man." Somebody, you're like,
Geschwind?
"So can I take your name, please?" And then they tell you what it is. You're like, "I'm not too sure about that, actually." Other name.
That's hilarious.
Geschwind, dude.
And then came Nugs and Wildy Man, who I also met in ranked, but I took that a lot more serious. And that went kind of well. Won my first ESL and that, but we qualified for the monthly like 3 times. I could never get past the first round, so I never got a title for like 6 months, which really made me really mad. But
You got that big RLCS elite title, dude.
oh yeah.
Even though
But,
like you were like frustrated, you said for like 6 months. Like, what made you keep going with it? Is it just because you like the game, or?
I honestly I didn't have anything else to do. So it was like the most
What
fun
a
thing.
reason.
Oh, the life of a 14-year-old.
How inspiring, boys. You guys want to become pro Rocket League players? Just have nothing to do.
Just be a young gun and be like, what else is there to do tonight? I don't know.
No, I
play Rocket League,
really
guess.
wanted a title. That's the only reason I played ESL weekly, was to get into the monthly. But yeah, and then eventually that team didn't work out because immature little 14-year-old argue with people. So, and then
You're talking
Nugs
about
tried
yourself
out.
here.
Yeah, I was 14,
Okay.
2 months before the LAN, or not LAN, 2 months before season 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nugs tried out for Turtle and J-Raw, and I really did not want Nugs to be with Turtle and J-Raw because I knew Turtle was really good. So I tried out so Nugs wouldn't make it. And that's how that team started.
Wow.
Oh,
Wow.
I love it. Rip
And
Nugs.
then took off from there. That's pretty much how it started in competitive.
It's pretty crazy. What what tournaments did you start off like playing other than like ESL? Was there any other ones that you kind of, leaned into?
VVV. Yeah. VVV. I didn't take VVV as seriously because it was like a draft that I liked, but yeah, ESL was the one that I took the most seriously.
Okay. Because that's where I know you from. Like, I watched you climb and kind of make a name for yourself in VV, even though, like, me and Cloud used to talk a lot back, like, watch out for this guy. Like, both you and Turtle played every once in a while in there. But so did everybody else. I mean, even Kronovi started playing there, and you guys just kind of branched out, and VVV kind of died down a little bit. But, I mean, you got good at a very quick rate. Like, you exponentially were just like, okay, yeah, I'm in the RLCS, and now everybody yells, oh my Garrett. So what was it, and I know you and I talked about this a little bit yesterday, and your reasoning is kind of funny, but what made you get good so fast? Like,
I told you that's a hard question because I have literally no clue how I got good or decent, I
Okay,
guess.
tell us what you did in an attempt to get the elusive ESL monthly
I
champ
just played.
title or
I
elite.
played as much as I could, and then I still did this. I always watch Europe players play because I don't know. There's something about how they play that I always try to play like, but it's hard. Of course.
They just put the ball in the net really damn fast. That's what
Well,
they do.
yeah.
Like,
yeah,
if you
I
look at
struggle with
2v2
being
is the biggest
smart.
difference, right? Because they'll, like, EU 2v2 looks nothing like any 2v2. Any 2v2, like, takes ages for a shot to develop. EU is just, like, 1-2 and then somebody shoots. It's always shots everywhere.
Yeah.
That's why Garrett is the best player at NA, because he just watches EU all the time.
it's like the
And I
only
still
one that does
feel
it.
so bad when I watch them because I know I'd be crap in Europe pretty much. So feels bad, man. But yeah. And then I just played as much as I could, and didn't really waste time when I was playing. I didn't like play mindlessly. I didn't never try to improve one thing. I just like tried to win every game that I played, and I naturally got better from that.
But you mean that by like like using training and stuff, obviously, like in between your
Oh
matches, doing
yeah, yeah.
cues, and so there's a lot of players, and I know the way that you and I kind of talked about it was like during training and stuff, there wasn't any like one thing you did on purpose. You're just like, oh, I wish I could make that shot, and then you just grinded it out. It was something that you did subconsciously. You're just
Yeah, yeah. So I
Would
could hit
you-
it.
Would you
and
say
move
you were
on.
like goal oriented pretty much with every match, where it's like, okay, if you saw a mistake you made, you'd like remember it's that next game. Okay, I'm not gonna make that mistake, or was it just constantly trying to get yourself up against better opponents? Because a lot of players do try and improve
I hate
all
losing.
the time, but yeah, but I mean, like they
Yeah.
might not be as successful because they might not be paying attention to their mistakes so much as just trying to improve. Do you know what I'm saying? Like focusing on your mistakes and trying to fix them. Would you say that was a big part of what helped you improve?
Yes. Especially like when I would notice that I'd miss like a certain shot, or I'd always be out of a certain position if someone was shooting from a certain side or whatever. I would just, I think that was another thing I did subconsciously, I guess. I would just remember it once I made the mistake once, and I just keep playing until I made the least mistakes possible, I guess you could say. It's hard to explain.
yeah. Seems like you're
Well, no,
like
I mean,
you're never satisfied. Like
No,
to an extent,
no.
like you're like, yeah, well, you know, I make mistakes. Okay, this is better than what it was. Time to go on to the next thing. You just kept rotating until, I mean, I assume you're still not satisfied with your play.
No.
I
I'm
mean,
always really hard on myself.
I remember during the forest when we used to play that, you'd often take breaks for chicken biscuits. Would you say chicken biscuits had an impact on your
I had a
journey?
chicken biscuit today.
Of course
Here
you
we go,
did.
boys.
Chicken biscuits, the meal of champions. Forget your Wheaties. Chicken biscuits, boys.
GarrettG, first Rocket League player to be sponsored by a food company. The GarrettG chicken biscuit.
Oh my gosh.
Make it happen, dude.
I'll
Can we
take
get
that
like a
for-
recipe, like sometime?
Me?
All the viewers at home.
Yeah. You just buy microwavable chicken biscuits. and
Where'd
then
you buy
put
them
it
from?
on-
It's like a
Kroger.
certain brand.
Jimmy Dean's.
Jimmy Dean's. There you guys go.
Yeah.
How long do you microwave it for?
65 seconds, wrapped in a paper towel.
Okay, we're done. Easy peasy.
You
And
two
you get
can
a nice
be a
little
RLCS
chicken
Elite
biscuit.
champion. Oh my gosh. Johnny, do you want to kick us off with kind of the team history of Garrett?
I thought you were gonna ask me my opinion on that topic. I was
No,
like, I have
no.
idea what we're talking about, but sure.
No,
I
no,
can,
keep
yeah.
going.
Yeah. So season 1 of qualifier 1 of RLCS is when most people started to take a notice of you and your team, which was at the time yourself, Turtle, and J-Rod. That was Vex, if I'm not mistaken. And I remember I had high hopes for you because I'd casted you a few times in PPL, but Gibbs, he did not have the same high hopes, and I think I want to hear your thoughts on this because I don't know how much you know about Gibbs's opinions of your guys as a team when you started off.
Tier
But-
3.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
didn't. Yeah, he called you tier 3. Didn't think you were going to do very well. Which, of course, like Gibbs, great on the analysis desk. He's like not afraid to call people out and
Oh, yeah.
make a good storyline. But how did those comments affect you and your team?
I mean,
Tier 3.
you can't blame them. We were ranked number 9, number 8. Like, it wasn't a big deal if we didn't make group stage. But I think that definitely, like, made us want to play so much better. Like,
Mhm.
everything worked out the 2 weeks before group stage. Like, somehow, like, Flipside was playing horrible, right? And the Rocket Royale.
Oh
So
yeah.
somehow they let us beat them, and then we thought we were so good. And then we beat Makati because they were horrible at the time as well. I don't know. And then we beat Abbott Power the next week. I don't know. Everything worked out. And then, like, I don't know. I feel like it takes a little bit of luck. Like, I worked really hard for it, but it took a little bit of luck to, like, have such good, like, be in such a good position, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sorry about that frame drop, guys. Ironically, the forest wanted to update.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Sorry about
Support the
that.
show.
Oh, my bad, guys. But yeah.
Don't
So
mind
if you wanna repeat that answer a little bit for the stream, that'd be great.
I think I kind of ranted off. I'll just answer the Gibbs. Yeah. It fueled us to play a lot better.
Motivated you,
Yeah.
and then like things just went well. with that lineup. But you kind of hit you must have hit a wall because you and Turtle looked to replace J-Ra with Moses. You saw, Moses is doing pretty well. He's carrying that team with Quinn on it pretty
Oh
far.
yeah,
You
I
must be
scored
pretty
40% of the team's goals. I'll have you know.
So what was the story from your perspective behind that? If you've got anything to say about the whole, Rip J-Ra, hello Moses situation. Who, by the way, Moses was statistically better in every category than J-Ra.
Except for
so
assists
it's a
by
smart move.
0.05.
Yeah, he was just better
Yeah.
in everything. So
Yeah.
a pretty good move if you ask me. But yeah, your thoughts, Garrett. I'm sure people would be interested to hear them.
Well, even before like qualifier 1, we had always like thought about the idea of replacing Jay just because he wasn't as dedicated. I guess he was just about having fun. Like we like to have fun, but we wanted to win. And when Moses messaged us saying that like he didn't fit well with his team and his play style, so we just scrimmed and it worked out. And it wasn't really that hard of a decision, kicking
Mhm.
Jay, because it felt like we were almost carrying him a lot. And
Which you guys kind of were, to be honest.
yeah,
Your guys'
Like,
is
So-
not kind of. You definitely were.
it's a lot less pressure to have someone who's like really experienced on our
Mhm.
team.
I mean, your guys' success was based solely upon J-Rob playing well. Like if he played well, you guys looked strong, and you like even then it looked like you two were still carrying it. So I understand the decision and process, but like that feeling, like even that, I mean, you guys were the first team in RLCS history to actually beat I by Power. Like, what was that kind of feeling like? I mean, nobody else had done it before. Like they looked so dominant in Qual 1. Like they're beating teams like 6-2 every single game.
I don't know what happened. I think it was Gibbs's podcast or whatever. I was listening and Doomsy was like, I can't believe NA teams haven't beat Power yet. All you have to do is sit in the net and counterattack. So that's what I did. And it worked.
It's really smart, isn't it?
Yeah,
What a
no, no.
strategy.
They did overcommit all the time.
Yeah.
Like
And we
in
just
scrims,
sat.
that was always our strat. But it's just the crazy thing is that like their recoveries are all so good that a lot of times like the openings you get, if you're not perfect, they would still be able to buy themselves enough time to prevent a goal. That's why they were so successful.
Yeah, I guess we showed up that day and they didn't. So
What the other thing about Moses obviously is how much of the renaming to Exodus was around surrounded by the whole Moses coming from Genesis. Was that ever considered, or did you just think it was a cool word because you were called Exodus for a while?
well, yeah, we didn't want to be turbulence anymore because we kind of just wanted to forget like our time with
Mhm.
Jay, especially like Turtle. He just like we wanted to move on.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Moses told us that Quinn was going to name the team Exodus or something like that. So
What? I was never planning
or
on
maybe
Genesis.
maybe Moses said
We were
he
Genesis. We were
thought of
Genesis
it.
before Moses was a part of us.
Oh, okay, right, okay. Well, yeah. We just thought it
But
was a funny
sad,
joke.
we were Genesis.
Yeah. I don't know who brought it up, but we thought it was a funny joke. So
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
still funny though.
Genesis versus Exodus, man alive. The Biblery.
It's still alive.
Good.
Have you seen the logos of our like we're a planet orbit and Genesis has a planet logo? It's
Oh
still
yeah,
alive.
the river is still there. That's true.
Yeah.
That's good.
Was that planned? Is just
No,
a coincidence? Yeah, that's what I figured.
I saw it on Twitter and I was like, oh, that's good.
Fair enough. Now, so season 1, you guys do pretty well. Obviously, you guys get to go to LAN, take 5th. Season 2 now comes. And I mean, before we even get into that aspect, the difference between like qualifier 1 and qualifier 2, you guys just found like a comfortability. Like it looked like you guys were finally ready to just start off like with your play style. Like second qual, like okay, J-Raw's no longer there. You've got Moses. Like you got a team that looks like you guys can finally make a run for what you truly want to do. What was the difference between qual 1 and qual 2 other than just okay, no more J-Raw?
Well, it's like it felt like we were really experienced, even though it was only like 3 weeks of playing before. It was a lot. We were more comfortable playing because before we were like my hands were shaking so bad whenever, especially when the stream first turned on in the open qualifier. Like I didn't think I was gonna do well. We almost didn't even qualify for group like qualifier 1, so I don't know. We were just a lot more comfortable in qualifier 2, so we played a lot better. We were excited to play with Moses as well, so it was a good. It felt like a fresh start, even though it was still part of the same season, I guess.
Then you 5-0'd Quinn's team, Moses' former team. How did that feel? Especially maybe Moses felt a bit
Vindicated.
special. Yeah. I just remember talking to Quinn and he's like, why 5-0? One would have been 5-0. Come on, guys. Garrett, why do you have to go so hard on your boy Quinn? 0.
I'm sorry, Quinn.
Brutal.
Oh, don't be sorry.
Yeah.
It was great.
Don't be sorry, man. You guys lost 4-1 to Maka, and we 4-1 Maka.
I mean,
Yeah.
you were tired, so.
Oh, were you?
It's past
No,
that time.
Coming
I
off that
remember.
big 5-0, you were tired?
No, you are retired, and I'm still playing. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, but I'm a fucking caster boy now, dude.
Yeah, you
Good
got
luck.
to be a land boy still. He's a big boy. But you made it to
And we're
RLCS, so it's all good.
both
You both
fifth
made
best
it.
team in the world, so.
Yeah, you've actually both came 5th. Fifth equal. So in the end,
Oh, yeah,
everybody's
we did.
happy.
Yeah. I had to
Yeah.
think about what you were talking about.
But
Well-
at the LAN, right, you swept Mocket, who were one of the big 3 going in. There was Mocket, Northern Gaming, Flipside, were all considered to be the teams to beat. You actually beat Mocket 3-0. And then you also get to play against both of the other teams in that big 3, Northern and Flipside, but you didn't fare so well. Got smashed 2 series in a row, ripped the dream. How would you say it was playing against EU teams? Like, you got to practice against them a couple of times before the event started, but on stage, those games, what was it like compared to, all of the NA teams, qualifying all NA teams at the LAN? You guys only faced EU teams. So anything that you'd like to highlight as the differences in style or things that surprised you?
Well, against Maka, it looks like they had never played the game before. It was pretty bad. But playing Northern was like we had never scrimmed them before either. It was pretty like I don't know. I was pretty mad that series because I didn't expect that at all. Like I don't know. It was like really really weird playing against that because you watch it and it's like yeah, they're pretty good, and then you play against them and you don't have boosts the whole entire game. It's really hard to play against them, or
Mhm.
I guess the old Weedham girls. But yeah, EU
Yeah.
is like they were faster than I thought they'd be, and organized. So I don't know. It was a new play style that I'd never played against, and it was frustrating.
Yeah. It's kind of elaborate on that. Do you want to take us on like what it was playing against Northern Gaming? I mean, you mentioned they have a very fast play style, but like it caught you off guard almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to
It
elaborate
was-
on that?
Well, I never expected someone to shoot or hit every single backboard shot in a row. Like every time it was on the backboard, it was GG gents. It was over. it was I don't know. They were just so good. It was weird.
Yeah, because when you're against
That's-
low rated teams, you see the ball going up to the backboard, and then 3 or
Oh,
4
I had
people go
time.
up for it, and you're like,
Yeah.
they'll just leave that. They're all going to miss, then score the counter. But yeah, Northern didn't miss those. They just hit every
Yeah.
single one.
It was extremely hard.
What about Flipside? Because that was the other team that you fell to.
On the Floodlight series, we were like laughing the whole entire time. It felt really close. Like I don't know. We were really happy with.
They were close games, actually. They were closer than Northern games for sure.
Yeah. We weren't upset at all really when we lost.
Mhm.
We only thing we were upset about was like we didn't get to play on stage anymore because that was the
Yeah.
most fun thing I had ever
Yeah,
done.
playing on stage is amazing.
Yeah.
And how much should my tweet tilt you and Turtle before the Flipside series? Because obviously your mom was sitting near me and she said that she just made a Twitter and she wanted more followers. So I just tweeted out a selfie of me and Garrett's mom and Turtle's mom just to tilt them. And it seemed to work because Flipside.
I didn't even see that before the series.
No, my plan didn't work, but they qualified anyway. Flipside
Yeah.
to the finals.
So
All good.
it sounds like there's pros and cons, obviously, to the live setting. I mean, obviously, the mental game is playing a huge role, both sides on that. So Do you want to kind of talk about that as you as a player, like playing on the stage? It helped you in certain ways. Like it was really exciting. You used to be nervous when you started in Qual 1. Like kind of talk about how that's changed for you over the time.
Like just how I feel about playing in general now or live?
Yeah, I mean, like there's certain things that. So like you said in Qual 1, your hands were shaking before that first broadcast. It probably affected your play. Second Qual, you felt comfortable. It was a fresh start. You were excited to play with Moses. You guys took second overall in that qualifier. You guys go to LAN. You were really excited to play on LAN, and you guys said you performed better when you guys were having fun and stuff against Flipside, but against Northern Gaming, you were just caught off guard. Like, kind of explain that.
Yeah. I don't know. The first LAN, we really didn't. We should have took it more serious than we did. We were just like taking it all in, and that was a big mistake because we didn't really. I don't know. We just kind of had fun the whole time, and then come the 2 tournament days, we weren't really like playing to our max capacity. Is what I'm trying to say, I guess. Which is definitely going to change this LAN because I'm going to try to play really good. I'm going to try, but no, it's really hard for me to be nervous now. The only time I've been nervous recently was like the first week of league play for like 5 minutes before the game. But now, like, I hate when there's not an RLCS game because I feel like there's nothing to do ever. I don't know. It's consumed a lot of what I do and what I think about it all the time.
Do you play better or worse when you're nervous?
Yeah, no. Play a lot better.
Why do you think that is?
Oh yeah, I think I told you that when I play really comfortable, I start to play really dumb because I feel like I can hit everything. So when I'm nervous, I try to be more smart, or it makes me more smart in how I play. So I overall just play a lot better when there's stuff on the line and when my nerves are feeling it.
Makes sense. Being self-aware, I guess that makes a difference on your play style too, and it's crazy that people even at your caliber still have those considerations. So, I mean, continuing with LAN talk, what was your best memory from like season 1 LAN, other than obviously meeting the LAN boy himself? Like, I mean, hello, it's Quinn the LAN boy Lobdell. Like, other than that, what were your like favorite memories?
At LAN.
Well, there's 2 of them. Like walking on stage for the first time and like seeing everyone there was really cool. And then after like the whole thing, when there was a meet and greet, that was really cool. When people literally came up to you asking for your autograph, that was probably like the best time of my life, if I'm to be honest. It was really cool.
So cute.
I mean, that's gotta be crazy. I mean, you're 15. Like, Johnny, what were you doing when you were 15?
Jerking
Can you remember?
Like the coolest thing I did, I guess, was probably like playing football for my regional team and winning a league. But yeah, I mean that's regional, not on a world stage. So yeah.
Quinn, what about you?
I was. What games right? I was probably playing World of Warcraft actually.
Yeah.
I guess.
15.
Playing
Yeah.
I was
WoW.
living in Amsterdam playing WoW.
Yeah.
Oh, we're both playing WoW. Yeah, we would have been. I played WoW when I was
Like,
15.
That was the highlight, right?
Yeah,
Playing
remaster.
WoW when we were
Oh man. But no,
Yo, there's nothing wrong.
BC.
WoW back then? Are you
Oh,
serious? That
yeah.
was the shit.
That was
Yeah.
amazing.
Don't get me wrong, WoW was great, but were you like playing in
WoW.
front of an audience? Having people ask
What are
you
you
for your
trying to say? Just
autograph and
because I
stuff?
wasn't fucking 15 in RLCS? There was no RLCS.
Back then, I remember
So
like
upset.
tuning into the very first stream that I saw was somebody playing World of Warcraft in like 360p, and I thought it was amazing. There was like 1,000 viewers. I was like, holy cow, there's 1,000 viewers on this stream. That blew my mind, and it was, I could barely see the pixels. They're like any text on the screen, you can't read that, but they're doing arena and WoW, and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. So I guess yeah, esports was very young when I was 15. It must be pretty awesome to kind of grow up with esports. Can't imagine what that would be like.
Unbelievable. So, I think Quinn's got some stuff he wants to talk to you about going into season 2 LAN.
Alright, let's go real quick. Oh, he fucking cleared it.
Oh my god. Jesus.
Oh, Quinn. He's useless at this.
Oh, which number are we at?
4. Dude.
I'm sorry. I've been paying attention, but I didn't look at the fucking numbers on the thing.
But you
Okay.
can't read.
Right. Garrett, my man, my homie. You guys had pretty much, in all honesty though, like you guys had like a dream qualification, like being the #1 seed, right? Like I don't know if you expected that going into it. Right? Did you really ever think you guys were gonna be so successful?
No, I got this game to like just have something to do.
Well, I mean,
then-
like coming into the new season, did you guys really think
Oh.
you guys were gonna be qualifying as the #1 seed, or did you think that it was gonna be like maybe #2 or #3?
Oh, I would have been. Yeah. I would have been really disappointed if we weren't top 2. Like I expected us to be #1 because I knew Genesis, like how dominant they were the 2 weeks before. I knew that wasn't gonna go in to like the league play, and
Shots fired.
then I knew we could beat NRG at that point because it had
Shots
been.
hit.
Shots hit.
What? We had played them so much, there was no way every time we played them, it was getting closer and closer, and
Yeah, it's only helping you guys out.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I'm disappointed that we got 1 loss because we really shouldn't have lost that Vindicator game, and
Yeah, what
I
happened
had
in
really
that?
high expectations. It was a bad week. I woke up with a headache. It was just a bad start to everything, and I don't.
Who was Vindicator's
I have
third
bad
that
days.
week?
Matt.
It was the Matt week.
Yep.
You know? It's not like they were playing good. It's just we had a bad week, which I had
It's the
bad weeks as
classic.
well.
They didn't play good. We just played bad.
Yeah, what I'm
esports
saying is
classic
it
excuse.
wasn't anything special what they were doing. They were playing well, but they weren't like if we were playing normal, I think it would have been closer. Like they still could have took
Mhm.
it. I'm saying, like it would have been a lot closer.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're all they're trash.
We all heard what you said, Garrett.
We
You
didn't
heard-
show
We
up.
heard it.
No,
We
yeah.
heard it here.
It's like you really can't take it back at this point, Garrett.
You said they were trash. I
What?
heard you.
We talk so much about being careful about what you say.
I mean, they're not. I don't think they're the greatest.
Why do you think they like fell so hard?
Why do you think they fell so hard?
Yeah, I mean, they were playing really well. Everything was going great. They, to be completely honest, didn't really have a good season. One like second qual, like they didn't make playoffs, and then
Oh,
they
you mean
come out.
G2?
Yeah, G2. Like G2 comes
G2.
out, plays crazy. They win LAN, and then after that, they go back to that pre-LAN phase. Other than being onliners, why do you think they fell?
Well, that type of playstyle they have is, I think, like all these other teams besides like NRG have this playstyle to where, or except for Take 3, I guess, where they just go for the ball and they rely all on mechanics and no rotations. It doesn't last long after like that honeymoon period that Gibbs talks about. It never. It's so easy to counter, and teams like that never last long. Like, and league play really showed like consistency, I guess. Then rotations are really important if you want to like be really consistent, because I hate that play style, and that's literally what NA is, I guess. It's just like mindless play.
Yeah, I think.
If you're gonna generalize an A like that, you're generalizing yourself.
Yeah, I am. We
God
try to
damn it.
be like we try to be smart, but
But Garrett's the EU fanboy. He always
I am.
watches EU streams, like the monthly Markiduda stream, the annual Cuxer stream. You gotta catch those and learn everything you can.
Watches those
At least
VODs
Mike
once a
is
night.
still streaming.
Yeah.
But okay, you've secured the bye. Now
yeah.
you've got the 2 weeks off, and you've said a couple of times that you are not enjoying the fact that you are not playing RLCS, but obviously having that guaranteed ticket is better than coming third and having to play for the ticket. Is it a relief that you have Amsterdam secured in the calendar?
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine playing one weekend to like determine most of your Rocket League career? That's way too much pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, not way too much pressure, but that's like something I don't want to deal with, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I really hate that.
You've got the teams who do have to play through that. We talked about them earlier. We made our predictions, but I want to get prediction, or not just team thoughts from you, but player thoughts. We already got your predictions. You said you think that Vendetta and Take 3 are going to make it, or was it? Yeah. Who did you say?
You said, I'm pretty sure you said Take 3 because you think Genesis has been looking kind of in like scrims.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Which would be
not
great for my
scrims, but,
fantasy
like,
team.
tournament play, because I played him a couple times the past couple weeks.
Yeah, you like
Which,
bet
of course,
you
I
beat
can
them with like
change.
a pickup team. So you reckon Vendetta Take 3 are gonna make it alongside yourselves, or you said that before, so we're gonna hold you to that prediction. But
I
what
mean,
about
it's gonna be
players?
really close, but yes, I think
Yeah,
Take
oh, yeah, I
Three.
think it's gonna be a great series between Take 3, Vendetta, and Genesis, and then Revival exists as well. But what do you think about the players? Who have you got your eye on from those teams? And you know, just including all the players from NA, maybe even players who aren't in our LCS. Who do you have your eye on? Who impresses you? Who do you want to play against? You know, to challenge yourself, or who are you worried about playing against in case because of the scary things they can do? Excluding your teammates, you know, basically, who do you think are the best players in North America at the moment?
I feel like Rizzo is a really, really big part of what Take Three, like if they play well or not. Which and then, of course, if Insel is playing bad, I don't think it's really possible. But Rizzo is incredibly good in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
If Espion's off, I feel like Genesis aren't very good either because Espion's like the most level-headed to me on that team. He's insane mechanically as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then Fire is probably the smartest player in the game. So I hate playing Energy because it's like you have one insanely smart and like just consistent player, and then you have two players who like fly around, so you never know what to
Two
expect.
retards.
Yes,
Yeah, they do
yeah.
play double
two
retard
retards.
composition actually. Yeah.
When we had Sad on a couple weeks back, and he mentioned like you always need that one player that's a retard flying around. And he's like, well, we have two, and that's why we win. So it's pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you credit most of their success to Fireburner, actually, rather than the retards.
I think
Oh, yeah.
Fireburner, definitely.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
You can be in a 3-1 against Fire, and a lot of times it won't go in. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Garrett's,
Unless you get like a
you're right.
perfect.
What'd you say?
Yeah, Fire
Unless-
stepped up for sure.
Oh yeah. He's in.
So that means that USA versus Canada, you guys got smashed. It was yourself,
no.
Jacob, and Gambit. So who would you're gonna cut all of you because you're all not top players in NA apparently. Who's your 3 players that you're gonna send to represent USA in the rematch so you don't get smashed 4-1 by Canada again?
So including myself.
No, let's exclude yourself first. Who do you pick if you can't put yourself in? And at most one player from any team, just to make it interesting.
I gotta do a quick thinking. Or
Alright.
Fireburner, of course.
Fireburner.
I guess. Dang, this is a hard question actually.
You
Rizzo.
could say Rizzo.
Yeah, Rizzo.
You rated him pretty high. You mentioned Espion.
I don't think that would go well. Well, no, I'd have to say Jacob because Jacob and Fire are really well together.
So you want to put them together? Okay.
Yeah.
Jacob and Fire, Rizzo. Is that
Yeah.
your 3? Okay, and what about if it is with you? Who do you pick alongside just yourself to make the greatest team to represent the US?
Probably Fire, me, and Rizzo.
Interesting.
Why not your own
That's-
Turtle?
well, no,
Why not Turtle?
no.
Why not Turtle, man? He's your teammate.
I can put people that's on my team.
You can put anybody.
Anybody in NA? Yeah.
Oh no, it's excluding teammates because then he has to say, "Oh, me and Moses and Turtle."
No, he
'cause,
doesn't.
You know, he wants to be a nice guy.
I thought you, yeah.
He's savage.
I didn't think I could put people on my own team. If I could put people on my own team, me and Turtle, of course, because off the duo, you know.
Duo.
Yeah.
Bit Momo.
Big Momo holding it down the back.
Okay, that's NA. Very, very briefly. Obviously, there's no wrong answers to these questions.
Okay,
It's
I
just
got
Garrett's
a
opinion.
better question.
What's
Who do you think
that?
would hold down the back better, Moses or Fire?
Fire.
Depends who's on the team as well. Like
If you
if
could
Jacob-
replace Moses with Fire,
Would you?
what?
if you could replace
no.
Moses with Fire,
No.
Man,
no-
this is really Quinn's looking to burn a bridge right here.
burn a
I
bridge.
agree. Yeah, Moses is gonna quit the
No,
team.
this is all Garrett, my man. I'm just asking the questions.
You're throwing in the alley oop though. So
What?
No,
it's up
I wouldn't
there.
replace Moses. We have like way too much chemistry with Moses to like. There's no point really.
But they are definitely both solid anchors.
Yeah.
They're good players at the back.
Yeah, there shouldn't be a reason that I have my third man in a 1v3 though. Like, yeah.
Yeah, somebody messed up for sure if that's happening.
Yeah, there's no, that shouldn't happen a lot. But I guess when you have, two retards, it happens.
Per 5 burner. So what about EU? Very, very quickly.
Flip
Who are your
side.
favorite EU players?
Okay.
Because obviously the teams is an easy one. It's just flip side Northern Market, right? But what
Well,
players have you got your eye on?
Well, fanboy Greasy.
Greasy?
Yeah. And Cookser. And Remco. I think I want to see that team. Greasy, Remco, and Cookser. I'd be interested.
Rip Markaduda.
Well, I'd be interested.
Remco.
Because Greasy and Remco are really good together still. I play them every now and then.
Yeah.
And then Cookser's insane. Marky's insane too, but I just want to see.
Yeah,
Greasy,
Marky's
Remco,
on
and
form
Cookser.
again. Marky's really, really good again. He was
Oh,
in
yeah.
a bit of a slump, but he's back. He's pretty scary once again.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna just say flip side. Like I'm gonna do a little bit, change it up a little bit.
Have you been looking at Devo recently and his ridiculous rebounds?
Yeah. I don't think you can just trust on one person making all the shots though. I don't know. He's insane mechanically, but I don't think you can just like.
Garrett's all about the
It's not.
well-roundedness.
Yeah, that's not a reliable strategy. You just have Devo take the shots. Because that's not always gonna work, I guess. Is my opinion at least.
What if
Well, yeah,
he does?
look at Marky Doodah in RLCS.
What about Markaduda RLCS?
Yeah.
Marky Doodah and Cucks have always taken a lot of shots, right? Mike as well, but I definitely say Marky Doodah was like almost always their top goal scorer, and then look at RLCS, he just
He
didn't
still is
perform as well.
actually.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
he didn't
to the
perform
line.
as well,
Yeah.
and like that's an example for don't put all your eggs in one basket. Marky Doodah became Marky Diddah.
What?
Ah!
That's terrible, man.
I'm not even gonna acknowledge
That's
that.
pretty
Moving
bad.
along. What's it like playing with Turtle? I gotta know. Give us that inside secrets about playing with Turtle. I mean, it's been a long time.
Inside secrets. What do you? I don't have any secrets. I don't know. We read each other very well. We don't even have to calm to each other. We've been 8 months, I think, 9 months together. It's natural now. Like, I don't know. We have so much chemistry together. It's really good playing with Turtle.
What's his personality like? Is he like loud during the matches? Is he quiet? Like, how is he on the field? Stuff that like the general audience wouldn't know.
He's never. Well, actually, you could tell from his training. He's never down. Like he never gets himself down. Really. Like he's always the one that keeps us.
Positive.
Like positive. Because I get so down on myself that like I start to go quiet, but he keeps us in check a lot. So he's a really good teammate.
And whose mom would win a 1v1 out of your mom and Turtle's mom?
Well, my mom's been playing, been practicing, so I'd have to say my stepmom.
Yo,
Alright.
you know your mom came in so clutch at LAN? Garrett, do you remember that fire alarm?
Oh no, yeah, I slept through that.
You slept
told me
through that?
something.
How
At,
did you
3
sleep through
a.m.,
that?
The night, like the Sunday after LAN had ended, right?
Yeah, she said some kids were running through the hallway.
What?
Yeah.
It was probably
was it
Greasy
Quinn?
and Jacob
Yeah,
and
it
them.
was it was Greasy
No,
and
it
then
was- it was
there was a
Greasy
fire
and them.
burner.
I was there.
The fire burner. What am I saying? There's a fire alarm. God.
Fireburner was
There was a
The-
fire burner in the hotel, and then the fire alarm went off. And then Garrett's mom, so clutch, just calls the front desk. Is like, "Is there actually a fire?" And they're like, "Nah." she's like,
Was
she's
everyone
like, opens the
freaking
door.
out?
She comes out. Well, like, yeah. Everyone's like,
Really?
"Do we really have to go outside right now?" Like, it's like 3 a.m. Everybody's fucking drunk.
Dude, I was too hungover to
guys,
even
just
realize
go back
it.
to your room. You're fine.
Yeah, me and Carver both slept right through it. Like we had no clue. Like we were so
I didn't
hungover
sleep
from it.
at
Just
all that
out.
night, but I did not remember a fire alarm either.
I sleep through all clock alarms.
Just ask
No,
Marky about it. Me and Marky were
yeah.
like, "Is this real fucking life right now?" like, there's actually a fire alarm. Could this get any worse?
First IBP win the LAN, now there's a fire alarm.
Oh man.
It's bad, man.
Oh man, that's good stuff. What about playing with Moses?
Playing with Moses.
Yeah.
He's really quiet, but he's pretty trustworthy on
Alright.
defense a lot.
All right, moving on. You guys qualified for LCS. Now, a lot of teams, like we mentioned earlier, don't really focus on like staying goal oriented and keep practicing together. Is there anything you guys are doing to like keep ready for RLCS? And obviously, you guys don't have to play any important matches soon. Right now, you've qualified. You're in. Are you guys spending most of your time scrimming, just playing rank, taking a break? Like,
We try to scrim every day, and we're definitely gonna pick it up more. But just we can't just take a big break from the game because, like in this game, it seems like when you take a big break, it's so hard to come back from.
yeah,
Even like a week break, it's really hard, especially with our team. Like we have to scrim every day in order to keep like our rotations good. And there's no point of not scrimming. Like it's even if it's 30 minutes a day, it's really important for us to like to keep playing together. It's 30 minutes for money.
Mhm.
Like it's worth it. There's no point in not scrimming. So
Well, so going back to Moses, what or how many times did you mix up him and Dogu at the LAN since they look identical?
I didn't think so.
Yeah, I know you
No.
didn't. That's why I say.
Oh.
I
was
walked
like, what?
in one day to breakfast and I saw Dogu sitting with the Flying Dutchman and I thought it was Moses. I was like, "What's Moses doing with the Flying Dutchman?" No, it's actually Dogu. They looked kind of similar in my opinion, but I don't know. A lot of people don't think so. Maybe I just am terrible at telling people apart. They were both
Probably
very quiet
blind.
though.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I was pretty shy.
Yeah, you will, naturally. You're probably the
15.
youngest team there over if
Yeah.
you combined all of your ages.
well,
Unless
Moses isn't that young.
He's
He's
20.
Yeah,
20.
but, I mean, he's 20, but 15, 16, and 20 is still probably the youngest team, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to be. Yeah.
Probably.
Until We Done Babies comes along.
Your
Yeah.
We Done Babies, dude. Your We Done Babies might be at Insomnia. That's going to be funny
Oh,
if
that'd
they
be
show
great.
up.
So, I mean, we already talked a little bit about you being 15, that it's different. Like what we were doing at 15, we were all playing WoW. That was about it. But for you, like obviously you're balancing like school. I'm sure you got plenty of fangirls you gotta like fight off and stuff too. But
yeah, I wish.
yeah, if you weren't playing Rocket League, what do you think you would be doing?
Probably playing CS:GO. I've always played.
Yo,
video
my
games.
man.
Like
Putting up that ESE,
Mhm.
man.
like I'd play sports and stuff, but I'd get tired of the sport after one season. I don't know. I've never like been tired of playing video games. It's just I don't know. I started playing like when the PS3 came out when I was like 5 or something. I played Call of Duty.
PS3 when you were 5.
You're 5, God.
Fuck me.
Everybody else think.
Oh
Everybody else feel old, dude?
Yeah, dude, I'm
Raise your
telling-
hand
I'm
if you
like-
feel old on this caster team. Like everybody, yeah.
Yes, I was 5. I was 5.
Wow.
N64 came out when I was 5, dude.
I didn't know. PS3 came out when I was 5. 2006. I'm
Wait,
born in
you're
2001.
millennial? You're a millennial kid? Oh my
I'm-
goodness, you are.
born
You
in
were
Yeah,
born
yeah,
in
you were
2001.
15, we're in 2016.
Holy
Yes.
cow, you were born in 2001.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's been 15 years since
You probably think that
2001.
we're pretending to find that fascinating, but genuinely
No,
it surprises me
everyone.
every time.
Every time I say I'm born in 2001, everyone like loses their crap.
It's because oh man, I can't believe that.
It's the funniest thing ever.
How are they like walking, talking human beings who were born after the year 2000?
Right?
make sense.
They don't exist.
They're like fully functioning, well, semi-functioning humans who were born
What
after the year 2000.
when was your birthday?
February 6th.
You were born February
turned-
6, 2001?
Yeah, I turned 15
Okay.
like 2 months before RLCS.
It's pretty good. Feels scrub killer, man.
So you were 7 months
I-
old
15.
when 9/11 happened. Like they talk about
Yep.
how like kids born in 2001, like there's some that didn't experience 9/11. Like that's baffling to me. Like
Yeah,
Wow.
that's
So
insane.
you really experience when you're 7 months old.
Yeah,
I was
I
in
mean,
I
fourth
don't
grade,
remember it,
And I
yeah.
walked into
It's like-
class.
Today I didn't wet
yeah,
myself.
like I was in 5th grade. Like
Okay.
I know exactly where I was when that happened. Like TV's going on. Like, I
Yeah,
can picture
seriously,
it,
I
but-
remember my teacher's just like, yeah, shit just went down on the East Coast. And I was like, oh.
Okay.
I made that exact sound.
We said okay, and then we all went back to playing Pokemon. Like we were trading cards.
Well,
and
yeah, I
stuff.
was in California, dude.
That's
Nobody's gonna
insane.
fuck us up, dude. We're too chill, dude.
That's crazy. Unbelievable, man. but always a competitive kind of mindset for you in your video games. Do you think you'd go pro in CS:GO or CS in general?
No.
You just be playing it more. Okay.
I was pretty decent at it, but I didn't really care about because it was hard to find for the people to actually like try to play seriously.
Sure.
Yeah.
Crazy
I
stuff.
didn't I wasn't really as passionate about it, I guess, as being.
Would you like sit in the maps and like just practice those flashbangs?
Yeah, I would do that. But I wasn't like obsessed.
There you
with,
go,
like,
guys. GarrettG, this guy works hard. So if you guys want to be good, just don't be shit and work hard.
Yeah, work hard
Yeah.
and
More emphasis on not being
Jimmy.
shit than working hard, though.
Yeah, Jimmy Dean Chicken and Biscuits. Work hard, practice a lot, be a legend.
Yeah, you need that gamer fuel.
Oh no.
Enough of that.
Oh, boy.
Anyway,
You guys
Forest
remember, Garrett? You won't know what I'm talking about, but you guys remember the Balls energy drink,
yeah, dude.
like
I don't.
BAWLS?
Yeah, that stuff was
No.
dope. It was like
And they had that-
it was like
Did they
a
have that like Orbits one, the one with the little
Yeah.
balls in them?
yeah, and it was like
As well?
it was like yay big. It had like it was a blue bottle, right? And then they did a sugar-free
Yeah,
one.
and it was, like,
yeah.
Ribbed for your pleasure.
God. All right, that's gonna wrap it up for week 19 of That's the Thing. Garrett, thank you so much for joining us. Shout out any of your social medias where these guys can find you, and then we're gonna move on to the Community Rising Stars.
GarrettG is my Twitch and GarrettG34 is my Twitter. So that's about it. That's all I use.
Awesome, appreciate it. Thanks for coming, man. Good stuff. But we are gonna move